If you've ever scrolled through the comments on a YouTube video, you know how it is. It can be, well, a wild place. You've got your jokes, you've got your arguments, your hot takes, but every once in a while you stumble across something you just do not expect.
Like this. You're reading a back and forth about insulin sensitivity, and then, bam, a link. Not just any link, but a link to a research paper on a government medical database. This is not your average internet fight.
You see, that one little link changes everything. Suddenly, a casual disagreement isn't so casual anymore. It's been elevated. It's not just an opinion anymore. It's an argument backed by evidence.
Which leads to the big question, right? It's a scientific debate in a YouTube comments section. Why? Why are people bringing academic-level receipts to one of the most informal spots on the internet? What is going on here? Okay, let's dive in.
To really get to the bottom of this, we first have to ask a pretty basic question. Why would anyone drop a scientific citation into a comment thread in the first place?
Well, researchers who've actually studied this found a few key motivations. Sometimes it's pretty wholesome. Someone just wants to share more info, add a cool fact to the conversation. But much more often, it's about the argument. It's a power move. Dropping a link to a study lets you challenge someone else or even the video's creator with cold, hard evidence. It says, I'm not just talking, I've done the reading.
And what's so fascinating is that this whole thing is like a casual version of a fundamental rule in science and academics. You gotta cite your sources. In a formal paper, you do it to avoid plagiarism and to build a credible argument. In a YouTube comment section, you do it to win. It's the same principle, just in a totally different arena.
And it gets deeper. These commenters aren't always just dropping random links. Some are actually trying to copy the formal structure of academic writing, like APA style. Think of it as the official grammar for a scientific argument.
The system itself is actually pretty brilliant in its simplicity. It's a two-part deal. Right in the middle of a sentence, you drop a little pointer, just the author's last name and the year. That's it. That little tag then points the reader to the full-on, detailed reference at the very end.
The main takeaway here is that every proper reference, whether it's for a book, an article, or heck, even a YouTube video, is built to answer 4 simple questions. Who made it? When did they make it? What's it called? And where can I find it myself? You answer those 4, and anyone can track down the exact same source you used. It's all about transparency.
So we've seen the why and the how of people having these mini scientific debates. But to get the full picture, we need to zoom way out. Because this whole phenomenon is just one tiny piece of a much larger puzzle. For researchers today, YouTube isn't just entertainment, it's a massive goldmine of data on human behavior.
And this diagram really shows you how they see it. It's not just a jumble of videos. It's this beautiful interconnected database. See, a user has a channel. That channel uploads videos, and each video has its own universe of data attached to it. Views, likes, and yeah, those comment threads we've been talking about. It's all connected.
And believe it or not, this has become a really serious field of study. It's called video data analysis. You've got researchers in sociology, psychology, all over, using these recordings to understand how people behave in real-world situations without a researcher even needing to be in the room. It's a game changer.
So, how do they get all this data? Well, they have a few tools in their toolkit. The main one is using YouTube's official API. That lets them ask for huge batches of organized data. For stuff the API doesn't give them, like subtitles, they can use something called web scraping, which just pulls information right off the public web page. And then there's data donation, where people like you and me can voluntarily share our data, like our watch history, to help with a study.
Okay, so what happens when you take all these powerful tools and point them at the biggest shakeup on YouTube in years? You know what I'm talking about? The rise of shorts. Let's look at what the research says when you compare them to good old-fashioned videos, because it might tell us something about the future of those comment section debates.
All right, first big finding, and this probably won't be a huge shock to anyone. On average, shorts get way more views than regular videos. The algorithm is pushing them, and people are absolutely eating them up.
But get this, the effect is even more insane when you look at a single creator. A study found that when the same channel posts a short, it gets, on average, a mind-blowing 110 times more views than their regular videos. 110. That is a massive incentive for creators to go short.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. The kind of content is completely different. Just look at this chart. Shorts are absolutely dominated by entertainment and vlogs. Meanwhile, regular longer videos are where you still find the meaty stuff: education, science, news, and politics. So while shorts get more eyeballs, the deep, nuanced conversations, the kind that might actually need a scientific citation, they're still happening in the world of long-form video. The format is literally shaping the conversation.
And that brings us right back to where we started. We've seen that these incredible evidence-based debates can and do happen on YouTube. But as the entire platform feels this gravitational pull towards 60-second clips, you've got to wonder what happens to our conversations. Is there still a place for a PubMed link in a world of infinite scrolling?